Hi, welcome to Summer Reading Club. I'm Miss Ann.
And I'm Miss Sharon.
And we'd like to start with our song. Ready?
Read a book, do-do-do-do. Read a book, do-do-do-do. Read a book, do-do-do-do. Read a book. Sing a song, do-do-do-do. Sing a song, do-do-do-do. Sing a song, do-do-do-do. Sing a song.
So, our theme this year is Imagine Your Story. This is already our third Summer Reading Club program. And today, what do we have today, Miss Sharon?
Look what I found, Miss Ann.
What is it?
I don't know what it is, Miss Ann.
Well, it looks like a pea pod to me. And if it's a pea pod, do you know what's inside? A pea.
A pea.
So, imagine a story with a pea. And imagine this is a stack of mattresses. What story can you imagine that has a pea and a stack of mattresses? If you guessed Princess and the Pea, you're right. So let's read it together.
Here you are, Miss Ann.
This is The Princess and the Pea, and it's adapted by Janet Stevens. Princess and the Pea. There was once a prince who wanted to marry a princess. According to his mother, the queen, she had to be a real princess, very much like herself. So they traveled all over the world to find one. They traveled to the east. A real princess can play soft music on their 3 instruments at once, said the queen. This princess is too noisy. They traveled to the west. A real princess can skip across the lawn without bending the grass, said the queen. This princess is too clumsy. They traveled to the north. A real princess can take small, dainty bites and never ask for seconds, said the queen. This princess is too greedy. They traveled to the south. A real princess can dance with the grace of a swan on the head of a pin, said the queen. This princess can't possibly be real. They just don't make princesses like they used to, said the queen. So at last the prince and his mother returned home. The prince was sad that they were unable to find a real princess. The queen was upset. One evening, there was a terrible thunderstorm. Rain poured down and a great wind whistled through the town. When the storm was at its worst, there was a knock at the palace door. The old king went to open it. Standing there was a princess. She was soaked and water spilled out of her shoes and sleeves. I am a real princess, she said. You are? Asked the king. Then you must meet the queen. When the king introduced them, the queen started to laugh. How can you be a real princess when you look like that? She asked. But I am, said the visitor. Well, my dear, it's very late. Stay for the night and we can discuss it in the morning, said the queen. The queen had a plan. She hurried to a guest room and stripped the mattress from the bed. She laid a single pea on the bedstead. Then she took 20 mattresses and piled them on top of the pea. She piled 20 feather beds on top of the mattresses. Now the bed was ready for the princess. "This is where you are to sleep tonight," said the queen. The princess was very tired. "I'm sure I'll sleep well on so many mattresses and beds," she said. She climbed slowly up to the top and lay down. "Good night," said the queen. "I do hope you sleep well." The princess settled down into the bed. She rolled to the right, and she rolled to the left. She lay on her stomach, and she lay on her back. No matter how hard she tried, she could not find a comfortable position on such a rocky bed. In the morning, the queen said, "Did you sleep well?" "No," said the princess. "I tossed and turned all night. My body is covered with bruises this morning." The queen gasped. "You didn't sleep? You must have felt the pea. Then you are a real princess. Only a real princess would have such delicate skin she could feel a pea through 20 mattresses and 20 feather beds." So the prince married the princess. The entire kingdom was invited to the wedding. Even the queen was satisfied. She was so pleased to find a real princess, she put the famous pea in a museum where it can still be seen. The end. So now I'd like to retell the story, but using the flannel board. So come on over. So we're going to start our story with a castle. Once upon a time, there was a castle, a beautiful land. And in the castle lived a king and his wife, the queen, and their son, the prince. Well, the prince decided that now he was grown up, he'd like to get married. So he told his parents, the king and the queen, "I would like to get married." And the queen said, "Well, that's fine, son, but you must marry a real princess." And the king said, "Listen to your mother." So then they started the search for a real princess. They looked high and they looked low, but they couldn't find a real princess. So they were getting very discouraged. Well, one night it was raining so hard and there was lightning, and they heard a knock at the palace door. Well, the king went and opened the door, and there before him stood a young lady, and she was soaked. Her hair was wet, her clothes were wet, her shoes were wet because of the big rainstorm. She said, "Oh, please, may I come in? It's so dark and so stormy. I would like to come in, please." And the king said, "Oh, of course, come in." He said, "I am a king." She said, "I can tell because you have a crown on, and I am a princess." king said, "Are you a real princess?" "Oh, yes," she said. "Oh," he said, "hurry, hurry, come in. You must meet my wife, the queen." So the king said to the queen, "This is a real princess." "Oh," said the queen, "you are?" "Yes," she said, "but I've traveled so far and I'm just so tired. May I please stay the night?" "Oh, of course, my dear, of course. Come in, come in. Let us get you some dry clothes, and then I'll make up your bed." And the princess said, "Oh, thank you so much." So the queen had a plan. She went upstairs to the guest room, and she got the bed ready, and then she put 20 mattresses on top of the bed. And under those 20 mattresses, she placed a tiny pea. She said if she is a real princess, her skin will be so delicate, she will feel that pea even through 20 mattresses. So then she went and she got the princess. She said, "Your bed is ready, my dear." "Oh, thank you," said the princess. So she climbed all the way to the top and laid down. "Oh," she said, "I'm so tired. I surely will sleep well on all of these mattresses." But she didn't. She tossed and she turned all night. In the morning, when she came down, the queen said, "Oh, my dear, how did you sleep?" "Oh, not well at all," said the princess. "I'm just bruised. There was something hard in my bed." The queen said, "Oh, you are a real princess. Only a real princess would have felt that little pea under 20 mattresses." "Oh, hooray," said the king. "We have finally found a real princess." Not long after that, the prince and the princess were married, and they lived happily ever after. Well, thank you for joining us again. As I said, this is our third Summer Reading Club program, which means we're halfway through already. So I hope you join us again next week. You can view this program on our website, interlochenpubliclibrary.org, O-R-G, and then look at it on the Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. So keep reading, and we'll see you next week. Bye.